President Karikou, Minister Selin, Ambassador Danilovich, Ambassador Portman, members of the Diplomatic Corps, and distinguished guests. It's with great pleasure that I welcome you to the Department of State on behalf of Secretary Rice, the Chairman of the Board of the MCC, who would be with us today and wanted to be very much here, but she was traveling. We are here today for the signing of the Millennium Challenge Corporation Compact with Benin. This is a historic day honoring the leadership and people of Benin and all they have accomplished in creating hope and opportunity at home. We are also honoring America's transformational diplomacy and the MCC's central role in encouraging democracy, opportunity, and growth among the best performing developing nations. And we are also honoring the deep partnership that has been forming between our two nations and the high goals we share to benefit the citizens of Benin. I now invite for remarks the MCC President and CEO, Ambassador Danilovich, who will open the ceremony. Thank you.
Thank you, Ambassador Scheiner, and thank you for joining us today for this happy and momentous occasion. Your Excellency, President Karikou, Minister Selin, Minister Doi, Ambassador Portman, MCC Board Member Hackett, USAID Acting Director Sheck, distinguished guests, we are delighted to welcome all of you here today to witness the signing of Benin's compact with the Millennium Challenge Corporation and to celebrate this tremendous achievement for the people of Benin. I would like to extend a warm welcome to the delegation from Benin and also to recognize many of the people who have worked so tirelessly to bring this day to a successful conclusion, including President Karikou, President Selin, the Benin Ambassador to the United States, Ambassador Ogwan, the Aduvalande, coordinator of MCA Benin, and Michael Grossman, David Weld, and other key members of the Benin transaction team of the Millennium Challenge Corporation. Under President Karikou's leadership, Benin has made great progress in democratic governance, transparency, and fighting corruption. And we are particularly pleased, Mr. President, that the preparations for the elections in your country on March 5th are progressing well. These are the values that best serve the people of Benin and values that Americans hold near and dear to their hearts. With the Benin Compact, the MCC will provide a grant of $307 million over the next 5 years to help Benin reduce poverty by promoting economic growth and creating a business environment that will spur investment in people and new opportunities for Benin. The Compact includes a series of 4 projects that will, 1, strengthen property rights for both men and women and increase confidence in land investments. 2, improve the functioning of the financial sector, especially microfinance institutions. 3, strengthen the judicial system and increase access to courts and legal procedures. 4, refurbish and restore the Port of Cotonou, an important gateway for West African trade and investment. In the medium term, these 4 projects will expand and restore vital institutional and physical infrastructure to create a better environment for business and investment. And in the long term, they will lay the foundation for dynamic growth that will transform Benin's economy and provide long-lasting opportunities for the poor to emerge out of poverty and destitute conditions. The creation of the Benin proposal benefited from a broadly based and inclusive national consultative process, and I was able to experience this last month on my first trip abroad for the MCC when I visited Benin. I had the opportunity to meet with women's groups, trade unions, representatives of the private sector, craftsmen, members of the agricultural sector, and other civil society organizations. And I commend you, Mr. President, and the people of Benin for this all-inclusive process which is so critical to proposal preparation. The result of this process is a compact that provides benefits up to 5 million people, or more than half of the population of Benin, and that will lift an estimated 250,000 people out of poverty by the year 2015. Secretary Rice, our chair, who I regret was unable to join us today, has said that the Millennium Challenge Corporation is the flagship program of the President's vision for transformational diplomacy. The MCC mission to reduce poverty through economic growth in well-governed states that respond to the needs of their citizens, countries that rule justly, invest in their people, and promote economic freedom. And MCC is similarly rooted in partnership, not paternalism, and doing the important work of development with countries and not for countries. Benin is a manifestation of MCC's core principle of country ownership and has made great strides to change and to take charge of its own development. We are proud to have Benin as a partner. The Benin, under the President's leadership, have put in place the institutional reforms that will support the effective and efficient use of foreign aid. The people of Benin are building the foundation of lasting political, economic, and social transformation that will reduce poverty by building a better future for themselves and for their children. We wish you every success, and we will support you as you implement the program, monitor its progress, and work to meet the goals that you have established. To the people of Benin, I extend our sincere and hearty congratulations, and especially to you, Mr. President, for consigning this important legacy to your people. I would like at this time to introduce our MCC board member, Ambassador Rob Portman, the U.S. Trade Representative, and ask him to say a few remarks. Rob?
John, thank you very much. I want to thank Ambassador Danilovich for his remarkable leadership at Millennium Challenge Corporation. We have seen in his short tenure some great progress, including the signing of this compact today. And Mr. President, I think it's quite an honor that Ambassador Danilovich chose to go to Benin as his first stop of every country in the world, and he will be involved in many. I'd like to welcome President Karakou here. Over the last several months, as he knows, I've had the pleasure of working with some of his top elected officials, including Trade Minister Laureano and Agriculture Minister Akblagan, in the context of the World Trade Organization and the Doha Development Agenda. And let me assure you, Mr. President, that your ministers are tough negotiators. They have done a very good job in representing the interests of your country. And one night they kept me and my colleagues up all night negotiating on the sensitive trade issue of cotton. And we were able to find common ground, I'm pleased to say. I am pleased to report the United States, in fact, has already acted on the first commitment that we made on cotton in Hong Kong. Earlier this month, only a few weeks ago, President Bush signed into law legislation eliminating the Step 2 cotton subsidy program. As important as that action was, I think it's just part of what needs to be done to ensure that the challenges facing West African cotton sector are addressed. The compact we are signing today is part of addressing those problems. It can be a very important tool in Benin's effort to bolster its agricultural production and its trade. Ambassador Danilovich has talked about some of these very specific issues, but let me just address, if I could, some that I think will affect trade in a very direct way. First, by promoting faster and easier resolution of land disputes on a consistent basis, over 115,000 households will gain access to land titles. Second, the compact today will spur $60 million in more micro-lending to small and mid-sized businesses, giving aspiring entrepreneurs a chance and helping with regard to Benin's ability to be active partners of the United States and others in trade. Third, it will improve the judicial system, not just with new courthouses, but also with training for port personnel, giving 2 million people access to a reliable judiciary system who do not have that access today. Fourth, it will help the Port of Cotonou function better and increase the volume of merchandise traffic by 50%, with infrastructure improvements that will reduce delays and cut the administrative burdens. This is extremely important to the cotton sector, of course, and to trade in general. This compact complements the U.S. pledge we have made to expand trade capacity building globally over the next 5 years by $2.7 billion. This was announced during the Hong Kong Ministerial of the WTO, and it will help a number of developing countries, including West African cotton-producing countries. It is my pleasure to introduce President Matou Karakou today. He has led his country for over 30 years, as Benin has adopted economic reforms and made the transition to democracy. I'm told that another fair and free election will be held in Benin only in the next couple of weeks. Our two countries share a belief in the power of trade to raise living standards and create opportunity. But trade can only grow in countries where people are able to participate in the economy and where the infrastructure and legal systems function properly. We have become partners in the WTO Doha Development Round. Today, we become Millennium Challenge Compact partners, encouraging democracy and reform. I'm confident our partnership will bear fruit, Mr. President. Please welcome President Kyrkou.
Je vous présente mes excuses. Je viens de loin et je veux qu'on m'entende. Monsieur l'ambassadeur Portman, représentant des États-Unis pour le commerce international, Monsieur l'ambassadeur Danilovich, président directeur général du Millennium Challenge Corporation, Madame Josette Stiner, sous-secrétaire d'État chargée des affaires économiques, commerciales et agricoles. Monsieur l'ambassadeur des États-Unis d'Amérique près du Bénin, Mesdames et Messieurs, c'est avec un réel plaisir et une entière satisfaction que nous voudrions, au nom du peuple béninois et de son gouvernement, exprimer nos sincères remerciements à tous ceux qui, des mois durant, de jour comme de nuit, ont inlassablement œuvré avec courage et patience à la concrétisation de l'important projet de développement dont nous célébrons aujourd'hui la phase finale à Washington, D.C., imposante capitale des États-Unis d'Amérique. Interprété.
Honorable U.S. Trade Representative, Ambassador Rob Portman, Honorable Ambassador John Danilovich, CEO of the Millennium Challenge Corporation, Undersecretary Economic, Business and Agricultural Affairs, Josette Shiner, Honorable Ambassador of U.S. to Benin, honorable guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is a real pleasure and a great satisfaction to take the floor on behalf of Benin people and government so as to express our sincere thanks to all those who, for months, days and nights, have relentlessly worked with courage and patience toward the realization of this important development project whose final phase is being celebrated today in Washington, D.C., the impressive capital of the United States of America.
Nous ne pensons surprendre personne si nous témoignons ici solennellement à Son Excellence le Président George Bush et à tout le peuple américain notre haute appréciation pour cette marque de confiance faite à notre pays, le Bénin, à travers le financement de son programme pour le Millennium Challenge à compte après son éligibilité.
Of course, I found it absolutely normal to solemnly express to His Excellency President George W. Bush and to the whole people of America our high appreciation for this token of confidence displayed to our country, Benin, by financing our program under the Millennium Challenge account after we have been eligible.
En effet, le programme national du Bénin pour le compte des défis du millénaire est l'aboutissement heureux des efforts de toutes les composantes du peuple béninois, à savoir le gouvernement, la société civile, le secteur privé, les syndicats, les paysans et les artisans, pour déterminer les contraintes majeures à la croissance économique et proposer des actions concrètes pour y remédier efficacement.
Indeed, Benin National Program under the Millennium Challenge account is the happy end of effort by all cross-sections of the Benin people, that is to say, government, civil society, private sector, trade unions, farmers, and craftsmen who gathered to define the major constraints that hinder economic growth and who suggested concrete actions to efficiently overcome such hindrances.
L'évaluation par vos experts de l'orientation retenue et des actions proposées nous a conduits ensemble à définir un programme dont l'impact touchera plus de 5 millions de bénéficiaires et soulagera environ 250 000 ménages victimes de la pauvreté. C'est là, sans aucun doute, l'ambition légitime que nourrit le gouvernement de Bénin et nous espérons tous de voir les États-Unis d'Amérique à nos côtés pour traduire visiblement, ensemble avec nous, ce noble idéal qui nous anime.
The assessment performed by your expert as regards the way forward and the actions proposed has enabled all of us to design a program whose positive effect will be felt by more than 5 million of beneficiaries and which will relieve about 250,000 households who are struck by poverty. It is undoubtedly where lies the legitimate ambition of Benin government, and we all have great hopes of enjoying the support of the United States of America so as to jointly translate such noble ideal into visible achievements.
L'histoire retiendra que notre programme pour le compte des défis du millénaire est un programme intégré qui vise à l'accroissement des investissements et des différentes activités du secteur privé par l'amélioration des infrastructures physiques et institutionnelles. Aussi s'articule-t-il autour de 4 composantes, à savoir l'accès aux fonciers, l'accès aux services financiers, l'accès à la justice, l'accès au marché.
Posterity will teach that our program under the Millennium Challenge account is an integrated program which aims at increasing investment and various activities of the private sector through the improvement of physical and institutional infrastructures. Therefore, the program is structured around 4 components, that is to say, access to land property, access to financial services, access to justice, access to outlets and markets.
Ainsi, il contribuera de manière substantielle à l'accélération de la croissance économique de notre pays, tout en réduisant la pauvreté au sein de nos laborieuses populations. C'est dire que par le volume du financement que vous apportez à notre programme, 307 millions de dollars, nous percevons déjà, et à sa juste valeur, toute l'importance que vous accordez au développement de notre pays. Dès lors, la grande responsabilité qui est la nôtre dans l'utilisation judicieuse de ce inestimable appui financier fait de nous les hommes pleins de conscience, fidèles à la parole donnée.
Therefore, this program will significantly contribute in boosting the economic growth of our country while ensuring poverty alleviation within our hard-working populations. It means that through the size of financing enjoyed by our program, 307 million of US dollars, we have already got a clear-cut grasp of how important the development of our country stands for you.
C'est pourquoi le programme du compte des défis du millénaire au Bénin interpelle désormais la responsabilité et le sens de l'honneur de tous les cadres compétents appelés à gérer sainement les ressources financières qui seront mises à leur disposition. Nous comptons donc sur leur disponibilité permanente pour continuer d'appuyer l'équipe de gestion du programme qui sera constituée après la présente cérémonie par le renforcement de ses capacités techniques et professionnelles afin de nous permettre d'atteindre tous les objectifs fixés.
Consequently, owing to our great responsibility in the wise and clever utilization of such invaluable financial support, we have to behave as people who are fully conscious and who remain faithful to their word of honor. It is the reason why the Millennium Challenge Account Program in Benin henceforth calls to account the responsibility and sense of honor of any skilled executives appointed to perform a sound management of the financial resources that will be made available for them. We would therefore like to rely on your permanent availability to keep on supporting the program management team, which will be established after this official ceremony by building its technical and professional capacity so as to enable us achieve all the objectives that have been set.
Pour ce qui nous concerne, nous prenons l'engagement ferme de respecter rigoureusement les critères qui ont permis à notre pays d'être éligible au financement du compte des défis du millénaire sur 3 années successives, à savoir la bonne gouvernance, la démocratie, la lutte contre la corruption, la liberté économique et l'investissement dans la promotion du capital humain. Soyez tous rassurés que le dossier du programme de Bénin pour le compte des défis du millénaire sera celui du peuple béninois tout entier, garant de la souveraineté et de la pérennité de notre processus démocratique.
As far as I am concerned, I hereby commit myself to strictly abide by the criteria which enabled our country to be eligible for financing under the Millennium Challenge account over 3 successive years. That is to say, good governance, democracy, fight against corruption, economic freedom, and investment in the promotion of human capital. I would like to reassure all of you that the file of Benin program under the Millennium Challenge account will be the business of the whole people of Benin, who guarantees our democratic process in terms of sovereignty and sustainability.
En vous renouvelant d'avance la profonde reconnaissance des bénéficiaires de cette aide, nous formons le vœu que notre pays, qui se veut être le modèle de démocratie en Afrique, demeure également un modèle de respect de la parole donnée, quoi qu'il en coûte.
While expressing once again and in advance the profound gratitude of the beneficiaries, I would like to wish that our country, which is meant to be a model of democracy in Africa, could equally serve as a model of respect for word of honor at all costs.
Vive la coopération entre le Bénin et les États-Unis d'Amérique. Et comme vous et nous ne sommes pas des païens, nous n'adorons pas les idoles, nous vous disons que Dieu bénisse nos peuples et nos États. Je vous remercie pour votre patience.
Long live the cooperation between Benin and the United States of America. And given the fact that we are all believers, I will say, may God bless our peoples and our states. I thank you.